AeroWeb Low-VOC Aerosol Contact Adhesive. Aero Web is a low-VOC aerosol contact adhesive that can be used in a variety of systems for warranties up to 20 years across all 50 states, including California. Aero Web is approved as a membrane adhesive for horizontal and vertical applications on standard TPO and standard EPDM for warranties up to 20 years. Aero Web is approved for vertical application only on any fleece-back membrane. Aero Web is not approved for use on standard PVC or PVC KEE membranes. Aero Web is also a primer to improve adhesion of our F5 air and vapor barrier and for priming previously unexposed asphalt prior to applying Helix low-rise adhesive. Aero Web can provide up to a 60% labor savings over traditional adhesive applied with a roller. Aero Web saves time and money because only 75% of the substrate is required to be covered, compared to 100% for the roller-applied adhesives. Another reason for the 60% labor savings is Aero Web's aerosol delivery method. Dipping, then rolling 100% of the substrate is not needed. Simply squeeze the trigger and the aerosol does the rest. Aero Web is packaged in pressurized tanks. Application guns and hoses are sold separately and are reusable. 6-foot, 12-foot, and 18-foot hoses are available. The spray gun is provided in two configurations: a gun with extension for horizontal application, and a gun without extension for vertical applications. A container of low VOC untack is required when using Aero Web adhesive. The untack is used to clean the hoses and applicator guns. To clean the applicator, simply attach the hose and gun to the untack canister and flush the lines. Aero Web can be installed in temperatures as low as 25 degrees Fahrenheit. However, the tanks and material must be kept at 60 degrees Fahrenheit or warmer when working in colder temperatures. Store the tanks in a heated space until ready to apply. The tanks must be kept warm on the job site. Don't use Aero Web as tarp weight when the ambient temperatures will drop below 60 degrees Fahrenheit. When Aero Web becomes too cold, it will begin to spit rather than spray from the gun. If this happens, switch it out for a warmer tank. Aero Web is approved for use over the following substrates: Mulehide Polyiso, Polyiso HD, Dense Deck Prime, Secure Rock, OSB, plywood, metal, residual asphalt, concrete block, and brick. When using the standard gun or gun with extension, simply attach the hose to the gun and tighten with a 3/4 inch wrench. Then, with a 3/8 inch wrench, tighten the packing nut located in front of the trigger assembly. Disengage the safety by screwing the cylinder behind the trigger. Remove the cap from the Aero Web tank if present, and attach the hose to the tank and tighten with a 9/16 inch wrench. Over an empty container, purge the air from the hose until the adhesive sprays from the tip of the gun. To protect from overspray, mask all seams and other areas where adhesive is not desired. Hold the nozzle 6 inches to 8 inches away from the vertical substrate, and use constant motion when applying adhesive. Overlap each pass 50% onto the previous pass. Spray the back side of the membrane using the same continual motion. Overlap each pass 50% onto the previous pass. Allow the adhesive to flash off and become tacky, but not overly dry. The adhesive should be tacky but not transfer to fingers when touched. Avoiding wrinkles, adhere the membrane to the vertical substrate and smooth with hand pressure. Broom the flashings with a stiff bristle broom. Finish by rolling the flashings with a hand roller. When adhering field membrane, fold the sheet in half along its long dimension. To protect from overspray, mask all seams and other areas where adhesive is not desired. The gun with the extension is intended to ease horizontal application. Hold the nozzle 8 inches to 12 inches away from the membrane and substrate, and use constant motion while applying adhesive. Overlap each pass 50% onto the previous pass. Allow the adhesive to flash off and become tacky, but not overly dry. The adhesive should be tacky, but not transfer to fingers when touched. Carefully mate the membrane to the substrate while avoiding wrinkles. Broom the membrane with a stiff bristle broom to remove any air trapped behind the membrane. Broom from the center out to avoid creating wrinkles. Finish by rolling the membrane with a minimum 75-pound roller. Use untack to clean guns and hoses. Close the AeroWeb tank valve and purge the remaining material from the hose into an empty container by pulling the trigger. After purging the line, remove the hose from the AeroWeb tank and attach it to the tank of untack. Open the untack valve and pull the trigger. Run untack through the line until it runs out clear. Close the untack valve. After purging the line, remove the hose from the cylinder. Things to remember. AeroWeb is approved for horizontal and vertical applications with standard EPDM and TPO membranes only. AeroWeb is approved for fleece back membranes as a vertical application only. AeroWeb is not approved for use on standard PVC or PVC KEE membranes. AeroWeb is also a primer to improve adhesion of our F5 air and vapor barrier and for unexposed asphalt prior to applying Helix low-rise adhesive. Tanks and material must be kept at 60 degrees Fahrenheit or warmer when working in colder temperatures. When AeroWeb becomes too cold, it will begin to spit rather than spray from the gun. If this happens, switch it out for a warmer tank. AeroWeb is approved for use in all 50 states, including California.